Welcome, man. We are live. The Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas edition. Man, I'm Stats G, man. We're going to get straight into it. We have another fire week of Texas high school football, the best in the country, hands down. And, I'm in the Houston area, man, that H-Town representing for sure. We have several fire matchups this weekend. We go ahead and kick it off with, the Houston area, GHA area versus the DF Dub area. And 6A D2, we got Willis versus DeSoto. Everybody know DeSoto is a powerhouse in DF Dub, or Texas rather. Willis is still a fairly new program. People are still getting hip to Willis. You know, Everybody know about DJ Lagway, who went there a few years ago, graduated. He's now at the University of Florida. Now they arguably have the best player in the state. I'm gonna just keep it on. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. They arguably have the best player in the state. One of the most dynamic players in the state, and a lot of people call him the next Travis Hunter. This boy is amazing. I'm talking about none other than five-star UT signee Jermaine Bishop. This young man had over 13. He had 13 receptions, over 300 yards last week against Forney. They pulled out the win in Frisco. Shout out to Jermaine Bishop. And people don't understand they playing with a young quarterback too. Quarterback don't have much experience at all. So they got a lot of young pieces. They also have a three-star tight end as well. So a lot of people like to say that all they got is Bishop. Yes, they do use him a lot in the screen game, the quick slant game, run in around game. They could throw it to him deep, coming out the backfield, and the man play defense too. But what he don't do, he can be a five-star corner if he really wanted to as well. But DeSoto is a well-oiled machine. It's like since that first month of the year, they started off a little slow. They took off and they haven't looked back since. I think that Waxahachie game, that was the turning point to their season. That Waxahachie game when, they beat Duncanville or whatever. So, they look like the cream of the crop in their district. Then we saw Soto take care of business. We saw them take care of business. And so, they and they lost to Duncanville, DeSoto did, but man, it's like they've been playing lights out, especially since the playoffs started too. Like these last several weeks, man, they offense is powerful, led by Sarad Baker. He's another kid who can pretty much do whatever on the field. A legend how you already know about Booby Feaster. Man, they got talent all over the field. They can beat you methodically. They can slow roll you. They can score in the first play. They run the ball, throw the ball, however, whatever. They get to you many ways. In this game, I like Willis a lot. I do like Willis, but in this game, I gotta go with DeSoto. I just think it's too many weapons, and I do believe that defense is a little better than Willis defense. So I think they'll make one extra stop, and I'm not. I think Willis can score. I think Willis will be able to score. I just don't know if they'll be able to slow down. Now, if sort of running the ball, all crazy, like which they accustomed to doing, and it's a chance it could get out of hand, especially like if they playing keep away from Willis. Willis, can be a quick strike offense. I think he can get out of hand. I don't think it'll get too crazy. I just got it a two-score game. I got it a two-score game. I got it 44-31. That's what I'm gonna go with. I could be wrong about that. It could be higher. It could be lower. But I think they'll pretty much pull away at the end. So I'm taking the soda on that. Next, we got another banger, another district rematch. Richmond Randall versus Iowa Colony. A lot of people say the winner of this game going to state. No disrespect to nobody in Region 4, no disrespect. But people say the winner's game is going to state. And I have to agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. A lot of people think Randall can win it all. Some people could think Our Colony can win it all. This matchup is expected to be a classic. If you was there early in the season, in their first matchup, you already know it was a banger. Last year in the playoffs, it was a banger at NRG Stadium. I think this. I honestly don't think the score will be as high. I don't think either team will get in the 40s, which probably sounds a little crazy, right? But I think it's going to be. I'm not going to say a low scoring game, but I think it's going to be low scoring enough. I want to go 31-34. Randall with the late touchdown. I'm a matter of fact. I'm gonna say it's a passing touchdown. So I'll scribe it, Nick. I'm gonna say it'll be a passing touchdown to win the game late in the fourth quarter. I'm taking Randall over our Colony. And a lot of people can say, hey man, Randall might, beat them pretty handily because they jumped out to an early lead, and they gifted them a few turnovers. So technically they look at it like, if it weren't for those turnovers, they wouldn't have been in the game. And I can understand that. And at one point, I think I was there. I think I was there uh, up until recently. I think I was right there saying the same things, but they had a gritty win. Our Colony last week against Brenham. Brenham is no slouch. They're a really good team. A lot of people thought that game should have got out of hand, and I understand that thing. But when I think it's a case of they possibly could have been looking ahead, and also these two teams that know each other. You know what they're gonna do. Styles makes fights. We already know that Styles make fights. So I'm still taking Randall. I wouldn't be surprised. I actually would love to see our Colony, make a state run. They have yet to beat Randall. Both teams, haven't been around that long, just a few years and a couple of years. But they have yet to beat Randall, whether it's in the playoffs or whether it's in the regular season. And I think if they're gonna do it, this may be the best time. Like they have a few seniors that's leaving, including Jaden Warren. Probably their best player. So I think this is the year to get it done if they're gonna do it. Uh, but I'm gonna stick with Randall. I'm gonna stick with Randall, man. Last week they looked amazing. They put up 80 plus on Bastrop. 80 plus on the team who made it to the third round. I don't care what it is. If you make it to the third round, you're a really good team. You're a really good ball team. And they put 83 on Bastrop. Next, Summer Creek versus C.E. King. This is what a lot of people have been waiting for. This rematch. Last time they played, they jumped. C.E. King jumped out on Summer Creek 35-0 at halftime before Summer Creek, roared all the way back. Well, not quite all the way back, but close enough to give them a scare in that late in that ball game. But eventually, C. King held on. They prevailed 42-30, if I'm not mistaken. That was the final score. Summer Creek is the better team. I think that 35-0 halftime score. I think that was an aberration. That was an aberration. I don't think that's indicative of what they've shown the last several years. And I definitely don't think that's indicative of what they've shown this year. Just look at the body of work. Just look at the body of work, and they're also a gritty team, a tough team. And I know how bad they want this game. They actually, have a chip on their shoulder talking to some of those kids. They feel like they should have won state last year, or at least made it to state. So I know they're playing for something much bigger than a win against C King. They have huge aspirations. They're hungry, and I do think that was a bad game or a bad half. You cannot get down big like that to a team like C King with Timothy Pasto on the ball, Dylan Mitchell. Man, they got guys everywhere, man. They got guys everywhere, and they got speed. That speed is crazy. Arguably the fastest team in the state. I would say definitely the fastest team in the city. So I think this game. I'm not even gonna put a score in this game. I have no idea. I have no idea, but I'm gonna go with Summer Creek. I think they're gonna be able to run the ball a little bit earlier and a little bit better. I think they're gonna slow down Summer Creek just a little bit, just a little bit. And it's hard to beat a good team twice, and especially this deep in the playoffs. So I'm gonna take Summer Creek to win this game. And last but not least, we're gonna go with the big dogs, 6A Division One, undefeated Dickinson at 13-0, taking on familiar face we've used to seeing in this round. Everybody know who it is, the North Shore Mustangs. And I'm side eyeing this matchup. I'm gonna be honest. I'm side eyeing this matchup. I'm looking like, okay, let's see Dickinson. Let's see. Let's see if y'all really want to make a statement and really put your name in the hat with the greats. You know what they say, to beat a man, you gotta what? You gotta beat the man. You gotta beat him. Everybody knows 6A D1 in Houston gonna always run through North Shore. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't say always is going to always run through North Shore, but over the past several years, maybe past decade, has been running through North Shore. That's the cream of the crop. The big dogs. Got to beat them. Got to knock them out. So I cannot pick against North Shore in this round. I cannot pick against history. I cannot pick against Coach Willie Gaston and their staff. And they will have them boys ready. I cannot pick against Caleb Maryland. I cannot. They just this team know how to win. They know how to win in December. This is unfamiliar territory for Dickinson, and I wouldn't be surprised at them winning because they are a really good team. They were very impressive against Strake Jessup last week. Very impressive. I thought Strake Jessup would at least be able to get off the mat a little bit, and give them a puncher's chance with Johnny Abear. But man, Dickinson handled business. They proved why they're a real legitimate threat. That 13-0 look good, and they have some very big wins too. Very big wins against the Atascocita. They already beat Seed King. So they looking like the 23-6A killer, so to speak. If they can slay the dragon, then man, they can slay the dragon. I'm gonna stick with North Shore. Score wise, I'm gonna go 31-20. 31-21. Final score. 31-21. Final score. I think Dickinson will fight. I think they will fight. I I think at the end of the day, North Shore is too much when it's all said and done. So those are my predictions. I will check back in after these games. So stay tuned. This is the Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas edition.